Welcome once more to chair interval training, brought to you by Community Access Yellow Springs and the Yellow Springs Senior Center, and me, Lynn Hardman, Silver Sneakers and Flex instructor. But you don't need silver sneakers, and you don't need to be a Senior Center member to enjoy the benefits of this workout. You just need to keep on moving. All right, so before we do move to this program or any new exercise program, please consult your doctor. And if you feel out of balance or dizzy, or you just feel like the movement's too much for you for whatever reason, it's recommended you return or remain in a sturdy chair. You will get plenty of benefits from exercising just in your seat, or if you can, on your feet. But we're going to use this chair as our home base. It's also going to be our balance check. We also are going to use some hand weights or a jug, a vinegar jug or a milk jug that's been rinsed out and then filled with the desired amount of water. I'm using a laundry jug because it's just a little bit bigger and I like the colors. That's a handy hand weight, and it will be part of our training. And a rubber tubing or any stretchy band. But if you don't have either of these, please call me. I've recently come into some more, and I would love to share them with you because I think we're going to have another 6 months of indoor exercise fun. Well, you know, we can't laugh about it. We might end up crying. So move stuff out of the way, make sure your area is safe and clear, and let's get moving. I got a little bit of a Motown mix. You've probably heard it before. Double check your area, make sure everything is out of the way. Oops, that's not coming on our speaker, is it? Pardon me. Hopefully this will hook up with the speaker. There we go. Now you can probably hear a little bit better. Just get those feet moving. Nice, long, strong spine. This kind of posture, elongating our spine, makes it easier to move our body and easier to breathe. Two good things. I want to encourage you to stay behind your chair so you can see it with your peripheral vision as you use your best posture, and you can touch it should you need it for a balance check. But I'm going to move out in front of the chair just for a moment so you can see my feet. We're just getting ready. Moving at your own pace at all times is vital to your benefits of this exercise program. The benefits of our exercise and everything we do, widening out our stance, should always outweigh the risks. But I think I'm probably preaching to the choir. If you're at home exercising, bravo, brava. Warm up with that nice wide stance, hinging through your hips, knees, and ankles, and lifting your shoulder towards your earlobe. And maybe rounding that shoulder back. Just gradually begin to see what feels good to you today. And if something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Don't push it. If everything's moving great, feeling fine, make your range of motion a little bit bigger. If it doesn't feel fine, make it a little smaller. You know you, and I'm trusting you to listen to your body. Let's open and close the chest, shoulders too. Pain is a message from our body to stop. If it's a dull, achy soreness and it gets better from moving, that might be arthritis. And if you do it gradually, you'll feel better. But sharp, sudden shooting pains are never good signs. That's when we have to stop and choose some other movement. All right, let's march it out. We're going to work on a couple of patterns, super simple patterns. One is an out, out, in. We've done it before, but let's take it out at tempo. It'll sound like this. Out, out, in, out, in, out, in. So we can get low into our little triple flexion or mini squat stance and warm up those hips and thighs a little more. Swinging those arms in a cross crawl fashion is really good for coordinating the brain together with the body. We can work on this pattern in different directions. We can take it slightly forward in a V-step, or we can take it back. Or just out, out, in. And we can do it at different speeds. We could try it tempo. We could try it faster. Out, out, in, out, out, in. And this quick footwork is really good for energizing our body, raising our heart rate, and teaching our feet to move fast when we need it. And that lowers our risk of falls. And we're just warming up. I wanted to show you that pattern. When we do it, we'll either be at the side of our chair or behind. And we'll also mix it up with some balancing. Well, let's take our warm up in this standing position to a little bit of a balance. Use your right hand, standing on the left side of your chair, and just take that left knee up and then tap it back. Lift it up, maybe the left arm too, and tap it back, hinging forward slightly. Got your hand right next to your chair. Now leave your foot in the air, toes up, circle. One way, and then the other. Good, now tap that heel on the ground. Keep most of your weight in that hind quarter. Lengthen your spine and take a bit of a bow. But keep the spine long and strong. Reach out, lift your toes up, and then push them down. And stand tall. Let's take that left foot, walk it all the way back, gradually behind us to where we could pace the heel on the ground and lean forward for a little calf stretch. Make a long, strong diagonal. Pull up to the ball of that left foot. Squeeze tight that strong calf muscle. And relax, release. Paste it on the ground. Excellent. Come up to the ball of that left foot. Tuck your hip under. Round your spine like a cat. Open it like a cow. Do it again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Oh, that felt good. Let's try it on the other side. Switching it up a little bit today. Remember, balance. Left hand able to touch the chair. Long, tall spine. We're going to lift this right knee up. Balance. And then reach back and tap. As you reach back with your right foot, we're balancing on the left, but we've got our chair, and we can also put our foot down whenever we need to. One more. Good, now lift that knee up. Balance. Let's circle the ankle and the wrist. One direction and then the other. Excellent. Tap that right heel on the ground. Most of our weight is in that rear hind quarter, your left hip. Long back. Hinge forward just a bit at the hip. Keep your chin up. Lift your fingers and your toes. Feel a good stretch on the hamstring. Then toes and wrists down. Good. Bring that right foot back. A little bit at a time. Pasting the heel on the ground. Leaning forward. That feels good. Come up to the ball of the foot. Squeeze the strong calf muscle. And then release. Lengthening it. Pasting the heel on the ground. And leaning forward a little more. Excellent. We're going to return to our chair. As we do, let's take a couple Little squatting exercises. Remember to line your heels up with the chair legs. Feeling the chair behind you gives you the sure safe bet that if you lost your balance, you'll land in the seat. When we squat, we try to keep our head up and eyes on a point out in front. Keep our feet both right and left solid under the ground. And whenever you're ready, sit down. Woo, I'm already thirsty. If you're not thirsty yet, do take some time to get a bottle of water or have some on hand. It's never a good idea to have a glass container. They make so many good non-glass containers that are BPA free now. Class breaks. That's a bummer. Okay, we're gonna sit at the edge of our seats. Sitting tall makes us more active through our core, and it lengthens the space that our lungs occupy. So let's take a deep breath and open up the chest. And then exhale and close and stretch the spine, just like a cat. Let's tap those toes and warm up the shins a bit. And tap our fingers on our lap too. And now take them out and in. You can lift your hands in the air and just kind of move through your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your ankles, your toes. And walk those toes out a little wide. And let's get a stretch here. Careful to have the knees aligned with your toes, please. Gentle push to stretch the adductors. And then roll one shoulder as if you're going from your back pocket to your front pocket. And then try the other. Ooh, that feels good. Walk those feet back together. Excellent. All right. Let's see. Anything else I want to... Well, if anything doesn't feel quite right on you, I want you to take a moment to stretch it. Maybe outside your shoulder, or maybe the sides of your body. We've got about a minute before we really dig in and get into about a 10-minute stint of aerobic activity. Before we do that, I want to remind you, we're shooting for a happy medium on our intensity of 1 to the top intensity being 10. We're shooting for a 4 to a 7. If you get to an 8, that means that you can't continue at that pace, so just sort of slow it down or sit down, have a little rest. Just make it smaller and do your best. All right, we're gonna start with that agility pattern. And I'm gonna check my little notes. What else did I want to tell you? Oh yeah, we'll do another pattern, but it's one you'll know. So take your time, get up on your feet, and if you'd like, let's get behind our chair. We're gonna start out super slow with a slow right foot out and then left and then in. Here we go. Right foot out, out, in, in. You can use your hands like I'm doing or not. You can also keep them on your chair the whole time if you like. Sink down into your mini squat. One more time, slow. Let's go a little faster. Out, out, in, in. So if you're pumping those arms, keeping your core tight, but breathing, this will add to the benefit of this little agility step. You can make it bigger. You can always go at your own pace, or you can try picking it up and going a little bit faster. Let's try it. Out, out, in, out, out, in, in. Now we're pumping those arms double time too, if you like. We're rolling them over here on the right, or over here on the left. So you think you could go a little faster? Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. Just try your best. Breathe. Go at your own pace. And then slow it down. Woo! That got my energy up. How about you? I think when we started, I was about a 2. I think now I'm about a 5. Let's take it over to the right-hand side here. Make sure you can touch your chair. Double check your areas, safe and clear of things you might slip, trip, or fall on. And we're going to try that in a V-step pattern. Right, forward and out, left, forward and out, right, back. So it's like a V, and we can do that with our arm. Let's try it a little bit faster. Out, out, in, out, out. Again, you don't have to use your arms, but adding a little bit of arm movements adds to our coordination and to the amount of energy we must produce with the heart and the lungs. Are you ready to try the tempo? V-step, V-step. All right, now again, you don't have to use the arms. You can make it lowercase v if your shoulders are not loving the overhead movements. You can keep one hand on your chair at all times. You could pump them in that cross crawl pattern. We could continue going at this tempo, or if you like, we could try going double time. Here we go. Out, out, in, out, out. The arms got a lot harder for me. How are you doing? Out, out, in, out, out, in. Light on your feet, go at your own pace. Do you want to try it even faster? I have to keep my hands in closer to my body when my feet go super fast. How about you? Take a breath, catch it, catch that breath. Give yourself a little check on a scale of 1 being lowest intensity and 10 being top. Where are you now? Remember, you can slow it down whenever you need. You're the only one who knows, and trust you. Let's take it to the left side of our chair. And we're going to make another pattern with out, out, in. We're going to add on to our V and make it into an X. So make sure you can touch your chair and just get that left foot ready to go to the top part of our X on the left, top part on the right, middle. Now we're going to step back to the bottom of that letter X. Does that make sense? My arms weren't quite right, were they? So top, really slow. Middle. Good, really slow. And then bottom there, that's more like the arms. Then together, and let's try it a little bit faster. Top, top, middle, middle, bottom, bottom. So we're making an X with our feet and our hands, but in different planes, if you would. And if you don't want to use your arms, that's fine. Just keep moving. You can also make it smaller and get the coordination benefits without hurting your shoulders if that's a problem. And you could also touch your chair with that hand nearest it. Do you want to try this even faster? Out, out, in, out, out, in. Top of the X, bottom of the X. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Up, up. That's hard for me, coordination-wise. How about you? I kind of lost it. Go fast if you want. My feet just started describing all kinds of crazy letters. How about yours? Okay, good news. We're getting closer to our 10-minute goal, so hang in there. Take a deep breath. Let's take a balance break. Behind our chair, let's take our left foot, stretch it out, out, out. Bring our body to a long, strong diagonal, and see if we can float that left foot in the air, knowing we can grab our chair or put our foot down. Let's draw little tiny circles. Keep that core tight, breathe and brace. Other way with our circles. Wow. That was hard for me. How are you doing? Want to balance on the other side? Stretch that right foot out. Stretch that right arm in that long, strong diagonal and float the right foot. Got our chair if we need it. See if you can keep your core tight. Little tiny circles one way and then the other. All right, let's march again. One more time. Can we do it? This time we're going to add a coordination challenge. Stay behind your chair, please. I'm going to come out in front just so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. We're going to count to 4 and we're going to play around with clapping on different parts of that 4-count tempo. So first let's get our right foot going out, out, in. And the left as well. Okay, got it? Out, out, in. Now count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Brain game. Let's add clap on 4. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, do you think you could take it double time? Let's try it. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How you doing? Let's slow down. And let's start with our left foot. Out, out, in. Good. Let's go a little bit faster next time to tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time let's try clapping on 2. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Sometimes it helps to say it, but never mind if you don't. Whoops. 1, 2. It helps me to say it. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, I'm really failing. 1, 2. How are you doing? 1, 2. 1, 2. It's good to laugh. Do we think we could try this a little faster? Let's do it, hey? One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That was actually almost easier when I went faster. But that's just me. How about you? I hope you're doing okay at home. Staying safe, staying connected in safe ways. It is time to get stronger, starting with our basic squat. Body weight, or grab your jug and add some resistance. Resistance training, strength training, it's all the same thing. Makes our muscles stronger and our bones denser. All right, it also produces this hormone called brain-derived something hormone. And that is a fact. I will quote you next week. Many studies that have proven that. For seniors especially, we need that. Get those feet in line with your chair, get your hips back, and power up. Go with control down. I like to inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. But you could do it either way. We don't hold our breath. It's counterproductive and it could be dangerous indeed. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and settle down into your chair. I am really thirsty. Reminder, when you're getting anything down below your chair, step to the side, lean to the side, and this will help support your lower back. Side lateral flexion is easier on the spine. Many of us have a little bit of a low back challenge, and that's a very common place, hips and lower back, for osteoporosis, and we risk a fracture when we flex over too far. That's why I'm always reminding you to support with your hand. Here's to our health. We're going to use our band first. We'll strengthen our core. Core is really all of the muscles that connect to the spine. But many of us think immediately of our abdominals. And there are 3 distinct different layers of abdominal tissue, so we really got to think and try to keep them braced and breathing for best effect. So we're going to do some ab slides, and we're going to add some exercises to that if you like. At one point, you'll have the opportunity to sit down or stand up. Yes, and that's just squatting. But let's start out at the edge of our seat to allow us to come to a slightly recumbent position. And we'll set up with our tubing before we do that, stepping on it with about equal length of tubing on either side. Sitting tall, really near the front edge of the seat. Brace with your abdominals. Is this someone's gonna pop you? You can check. Breathe the whole time. Or think of zipping up a very tight pair of trousers. Shoulders in your back pockets. Chin a little tucked. Tuck your tailbone under too and just lean back until you feel gravity acting on your abdominals. Keep the brace. Keep breathing. Lift a little. Slide back. Lift a little. Slide back. It's just a couple inch range of motion that works best. If we come up too far, we take the resistance off of the core. If your neck or your back are uncomfortable, you can just rest your shoulders lightly in that chair and lift one knee and then the other. That will work too. Sliding. Now, if you like, I forgot to have us crisscross and make an X with our tubing. If you like, we're going to add a row as we come up and just kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together. You can inhale or exhale on the way up. Just don't hold your breath. Really squeeze an imaginary lemon between your shoulder blades. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Keep the abdominal muscles strongly engaged with that brace as if someone's going to pop you in the belly. All right, now, if you want to make that a little harder, you can keep your hands up near your shoulders as you lean back and then row. And this makes it a lot more challenging for your abdominals because we've added more weight away from the working fulcrum, or like the middle of the teeter-totter. There we go. All right, I'm about out of gas with this particular core and upper back exercise. How about you? That's how we should feel at the end of a set. You should feel like pretty much can't do very many more of those. Now, let's work on some different muscles. If you like, hip abduction, stretching the tubing to the outsides of the knees would be the most resistance. To the fronts of the knees would be a little less, to the insides. Wherever your hands are, rest your shoulders so that they're down in your rear pockets. And we're just going to step out to the right, out to the left. This may look familiar, and then in. Now, to your left, out, out. Keep your body strong and tall and centered as your hips stretch that tubing and strengthen the muscles around the hips. Specifically, this is mostly hip abductors that are working and strengthening to do this. But we're working with our core as well to sit tall and resist moving. Breathing the whole time. Good. We're not working on agility or speed here, but we are adding a little coordination by alternating our lead. We're just going to do one more to the right and then one last one to the left. And then we're going to do a little bit of ankle strengthening. Leave these feet out wide, please. In fact, walk them out. And just lift your toes and, whoops, yeah, that'll work. So I'm kind of making a rainbow with each one of my toes, strengthening the ankles. If you're like me, I was having trouble to readjust. It was slipping off my heel. Keep the heel firmly planted on the ground and just lift the toes up and out as far as you can, strengthening that whole ankle joint. It's a very complex joint, and we rely on it so much for our balance, not just walking, but everything we do. The ankle joints have the greatest density of proprioceptive cells in our body, more so than anywhere else. And we need that feedback as we're walking, going about our activities of daily living. Well, my ankles are feeling that. I'm done with that. How about you? Let's do one more exercise. And this one will give you an opportunity to do a squat. So sit back in your chair. We're gonna dig our heels in, touching the front chair legs, and see how it feels to just pretend to get up. You don't even have to get out of your chair to strengthen your hips, but get your tailbone back and your chest slightly forward and anchor your elbows on your torso. Let's try doing a little bicep curl. You could just sit and dig your heels in each time you lift those hands, but keep the elbows pasted to the torso. Or you can add your squats. It's a little harder than it looks because our hands are close to our body, yeah? So if you needed to, you could adjust this. You could have the hands up while the bottom's down and vice versa. It's harder this way because we have way more resistance on the way up. How about 4 more if you can? 3, breathing. 2, ooh, this is a good one. Last one. All right, have a seat. Let's uncross these tubings. Put our legs out front. Keep those heels down. Lengthen our arms from the elbow and give a little tricep, rear shoulder push back. Just finishing off. I don't work on triceps or biceps a whole lot because we work them with our larger muscles in the chest, shoulder, and upper back whenever we bend our elbow. And that's more like we do things in real life. But it's nice to feel a target zone occasionally. And my target zone, my triceps are starting to burn, baby, burn. That means I've reached momentary muscular fatigue, which is success in the strength business. Release any tension on your tube before you pick it up, tuck it away. Treat yourself to a little sip of water, please. Remember, when you're getting things down low, whether it's your water or your weight or whatever it is, do step to the side. Have a method, have a system. Lean to the side and brace. This really takes a load off your lower back. All right, I didn't preview this pattern, but we've done it before. But bear with me as I can't see the clock. I blocked myself. We're doing good on time. All right. We'll try it in our chair, but those of you out there in your own safe, beautiful homes, if you know you want to be on your feet, take your time, get on your feet. I'm going to preview it here in the chair. Reminder, when you're in the chair, sometimes the hip flexors, these large, strong muscles on the tops of the thighs and the quads will get tired. So you have to be creative, listen to your body, go at your own pace. Sitting tall if you're in the chair, standing tall if you're in the air. Let's try a little lift. 2, 3, march, 2, 3, lift. 2, 3, march, 2, 3. We've done this before. We're focusing on balance. And we've got our chair if we need it. We can grab it. We can also tap our toes down for a balance check. Lift. 2, 3, march, 2, 3, lift. 2, 3, march, 2, 3, lift. 2, 3, march, 2, 3. And this is where if you're in the chair and your thighs begin to get a little sore, I want to show you what you can do. You can draw your heels back, pull your navel in, draw those heels back 3 times and then march it out. Or you could tap your heels out front. Heel, 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 or you just float it out there. Kick, kick, kick. Or you could tap it out to the side and engage your core. That's a good one too if you're seated. There's lots of things you can do to just keep on moving. Now I'm going to transition to my feet, so if you're standing already, take a break. I think I should have had you over here on the side of your chair for those knee lifts, okay? But let's alter the focus to the backs of our thighs by coming behind your chair and widening out your stance and just sink into that little mini squat to add to the benefits both for your heart and lungs because those big muscles are working a little and the strength of your skeletal muscles. Makes sense. Also, it takes a lot of the impact off your knees and your lower back when you add this little knee pump. So that's our mini squat. Let's lift that right heel toward the buttocks. 3, march, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, march, 2, 3, or lift, 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 march, 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 lift, lift, lift. How you doing? Are you balancing? Got our chair there if we need it. It's okay to keep your hand right there. You can also tap your toe down. But if you don't need that, it's there if you need it. You could row. Up, 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 down, 2, 3, up, 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 down, 2, 3, up, up, up. How you doing? Balancing? Sometimes I have to tap my toe down or grab my chair. That's good. That's a good sign that we're challenging ourselves. Because with no challenge, we can't expect any change. We can't also, well, that was a weird double negative. We can't expect to get better every time we do this exercise, but we should see a trend. And if we lay off from our exercise, we will trend downward. If we keep up with our exercise, we may not trend so far forward, but we will avoid trending backward. Maintenance is a great thing. It's a form of success. Let's try one more of these hamstring curls. Good. Give ourselves a little check. How are we doing exertion-wise? 1 would be, I could exercise like that all day. 10 would be, I can't do it another minute. 2nd. Doing all right? I hope so. Okay, let's bring it over here to the left side. And instead of a knee lift, let's try a little kick. Make sure you can see it touch your chair. You could also tap your heels down. Left leg, kick, kick, kick. March, 2, 3, kick, kick, kick. Good. At least I hope you're good. You could do a little flicky kick, like a jitterbug dancer, or a Charleston, or a swing dancer, or you could do it nice and straight leg, like a ballet dancer. Keeping the core nice and strong, spine nice and long. We could always touch our chair if we need it, keeping it in our peripheral vision. How else could you kick? You could kick like a martial artist. It doesn't have to be up high to be strong. Choo, choo, choo. That's good. That's a nice way to try it. If you feel confident. If you don't like this, you can go back to the last thing we did that you enjoyed. I messed that up. Kick, 2, 3. Sometimes it's hard to talk and teach and demonstrate. Try it sometimes. Kick, kick, kick. That's a good one. Kick, kick, kick. Good. You could do a little cowboy cross or cowgirl cross. Kick across your body. Or like a can. March 2. Oh well, you get the picture. Let's try it one more way with hip abduction, shall we? Behind our chair. Nice wide-ish stance, sinking into that mini squat. Let's start with our left hip. We're gonna lift, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, and then right, 2, 3. Brace, breathe, lengthen your spine, but pull your abdomen in. Lift, 2, 3, strengthening those hip muscles. Can you feel it? Lift, 2, 3, woo! Excellent. These hips, with the leg long, the hip muscles have to work hard. So if your hips are starting to burn a little bit, let's try one more set on each side. And let's come back to those hamstring curls. Pull, 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 pull or row. Working on balance, but getting a little bit of aerobic activity as well. You got both arms. If your balance is rock steady, you could tap your toe down, or you could just use one arm. Man, the backs of my legs and my hips are really feeling this. I know I'm getting stronger. All right, march it out. How are you doing with your intensity? Can you still talk? Sit. Can you? That's a good sign. Very simple test. You should be able to say a few words. Let's do this with the knees one more time on the right here, please. Make sure you can touch your chair. And if you want a little bit of a sprint at the end of this balance exercise, keep your core tight. We're doing it at tempo. But we could, if we feel confident, try it double time. 1, 2, it'll be lift, 2, 3, march, 2, 3. 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 Lift, 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 lift. Sprint, sprint, sprint. How'd you do with that? Wait a minute. That's our slow down music. It's not time for that yet. No worries. Let's transition to our chair, transition to another set of strength work. Get those heels touching your chair legs. Squat a lot or just a little. Do your best. I'm gonna fix this music situation. All right, how many squats have you done? Wow. I hope you are feeling good. I'm gonna have to put the stop button on that. I'm pretty sure it's not a song that we can use. So I think we're fine. We'll just scooch right into here. Why not? All right, so we have not used our weight yet, but before we do that, step to the side, lean to the side, support your back, and support all your body system with a little bit of water. It's good to have a system. Grab your weight. We're going to do some strength work with some pretty heavy duty options. Let me check my cheat sheet. The option to lunge is a big one that it won't work for everybody, so we'll get there incrementally. And if one of the choices that I offer you today isn't something you want, you know you. Just do the parts you like. This is a crazy song. All right, so we're gonna start over here on the left side with our left leg off of the edge of the chair. Hold on to your chair, rest your weight, and see if you can get that toe back there behind you. Lift your chest up, dorsiflexing your foot, tucking it under, and just see if it feels okay to try to get up. If it doesn't, you're not gonna do the lunging part, okay? And if you like, you can use your right hand supporting yourself on your lap or on your chair. And we're gonna keep that spine long and strong, hinge halfway towards your lap, support with your arm. We're gonna do a one-armed row. Keep the weight close to the line of your body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. This is a one-armed row for your upper back, rear deltoids, that's your shoulders, and your biceps. Now see how it feels to dig your heels in and try to get up. If it feels all right, you know you can sit down whenever you like, or you can add that lunge. This is a big all-body exercise. We're using the thighs and the gluteals a lot, and we're working on balance. But this is how you lift heavy stuff in real life. Either that or have somebody else do it for you. All right, I need a break. Don't worry, we're going to get the other side, but let's squeeze in some abdominal work and chest work and shoulder work in between. Sit at the edge of your seat, front edge this time. Rest that jug on your lap. Tuck your tailbone under and lean back. Keep the back of the neck long. Tuck the chin very gently toward the collarbone. Breathe. Now, if you want to add to this, we're going to cradle that jug with one hand. I've got my right hand on the handle. And we're going to push it up and then bring it back. Ooh, that's hard. Kind of think about pushing on a diagonal. I'm only going to do about 4 more, and then I'm going to switch my grip and grab the handle with the left. You're welcome to do whichever side you like. I'm going to switch my grip and try it this way. So my left arm is doing probably 90% of the work, but my right hand is guiding and helping. And I'm really feeling it in this lower abdomen area. Working on chest, shoulders, fronts of shoulders this time, and triceps with this one-armed assisted press. Woo! That was hard. Well, I told you we'd get the other side. It's that time. So take it over. You can set that jug down while you hold on to your seat and see how it feels with your right hip ever slightly off at the chair, tucking that right toe under. See how it feels on this side to perform that lunge movement. Feel free to adjust. Remember, simply pushing with great oomph into the floor here is going to give you a great strengthener, but we have to breathe, okay? Now we'll set up for the right one-armed rows, supporting with the left hand on the chair or on your own lap. Keep the back long and strong. Row, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Kind of like, I like to think of trying to hold a quarter between my shoulder blades. Breathe each time. Go at your own pace. See how it feels to add a little mini lunge, a medium lunge, or a full on, up you go, down with control. Listen to your body. Do your best. Lunges are a great strengthener for the hips, the gluteals, that's your butt, and your thighs, hamstrings, and quads. And I'm about done with that. Maybe one more in this heat. Woo! I'm getting warm. How about you? All right. We're going to do one more exercise, focusing a little bit more on the chest. Come to the edge of your seat again. Lean back, and this time rest your upper body, your shoulders comfortably, if you can, on the back of that chair. Tighten up your tummy. This time we're going to just push that jug straight up. Leaning back, we're working on our chest. Now, if you want, we can adjust or use most of the weight in the right arm. Take it over to the side and then push across, working a little bit more of that chest area on the right side and assist with the left. If you want, you could just try a couple more on this side. And then take your time and switch it over to where most of the weight is in your left arm. Keep that core tight. Open that chest a bit and then close. Open. So you can feel the pectorals working a little here. Keeping that abdomen pulled in tight with those tight imaginary trousers. If you really wanted to, you could get up and back down and add a whole lot more to this. Or you can lift that opposite knee. But breathe. Do your best. I'm about done. Woo! All right, let's put our heavy resistance tool down. Take your time and grab your water, please. Whew. I tend to get warm while we're doing our strength exercises because we don't have that evaporative effect when we're kind of like, moving around as much when we do our aerobic activity. If you feel that way also, don't worry, that's normal. Today I got in a little bit of a time jam, but it's all right. But I just wanted to remind you, I might cut this one off a little bit short. I want to thank everybody who's followed along, and I want to encourage you to call others and find safe ways to meet up and go for a walk. Now that it's cold outside, wearing a mask is kind of comfortable. Getting outdoors and being active, keep on moving. It's so important for our mental health because, yay, the vaccines are coming, but there's not a perfect system yet. The supplies are behind the demand, obviously. The supply chains are a little bit strained. And, there's a priority of who's going to get it. But for many of us, it might be June before we're able to access a safe, effective vaccine. So think about that. Double down on your efforts. We're going to slow our bodies down and stretch. For me, I'm getting pretty good at the safety measures such as social distancing, mask wearing, keeping things high touch areas clean, washing hands so much. The harder parts for me are the non-social or the not being able to be with extended family and friends. And it's so important. Think about this as the holidays are upon us, as is the flu season. The hospitals are beginning to be overwhelmed. And the more we practice the mask wearing, the social distancing now, the more lives we are saving, not just from COVID, but particularly that. We really need to be chill and have a great, safe system so we can have the next holidays together with all our loved ones. Please do your best. All right, I'm going to slow this music down a bit. Encourage you to slow your breathing down a bit. Maybe just take 3 to 5 mindful breaths, perhaps perched at the edge of your chair. You can rest one hand on your abdomen and the thumb near the bottom of your rib cage and the other hand near your heart. And really feel now as you breathe in, ideally through your nose, relax the abdomen and feel it expand on the inhale. Breathe in as if you're smelling your favorite holiday aroma. And then exhale as if you're blowing out a little candle. And then repeat. Try to fill your lungs effortlessly, naturally, at your own pace from the bottom to the top. At the end, feeling the hand near your heart rise, and as you exhale, you'll feel it lower. The ribs stitching closer together, and then the abdomen also pulling in toward the spine a wee bit. And take one more cleansing, effortless breath. Just like that, we can kind of slow down our nervous system. And having a system to do that is really important because if you've never had a full-blown anxiety attack or been short of breath for whatever reason, it gives you greater confidence, and that practice will come in handy. And even if you never have anxiety, I want you to tell me how you do that. And if you never have trouble breathing, it will expand your lung capacity and improve your overall mental and spiritual well-being. It's true. All right, let's stretch a bit. Find a comfy perch. Support your back on that bent leg as you lengthen the other out. Lengthen your spine with your in-breath. See how it feels to stretch your arm up. And as you hinge forward slowly, gradually shift your weight into that arm on your leg. And you can rest this arm and let it come down to your leg, but keep your chin up and your tailbone back. And lift your toes, wiggle them up toward the ceiling. Wiggle your tailbone too if you like. If you can, dorsiflex your toes a little closer to your nose. That feels good. Let's try the other leg. Stretch it out. Readjust your seat if you need. Support here. Breathe in, filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. If the shoulder aches, bring that in. Soothe it as you gradually exhale, transferring some weight to support your long, strong spine. And just let your arm flow down. Stretch your tailbone back and your toes up. Lengthening your spine with each in-breath. Exhale. Release any tension you feel on the back of that hamstring area, calf, heel. Sit tall. Let's pull the navel in toward the spine and gently guide the knee toward the chest, just as far as feels good to you. And then trace some big flowy circles with your right foot. And then the other direction. And as you sit tall, let's try our figure 4 stretch. Either crossed at the ankles, outside of the right knee drifting toward the floor, or for those of you who are more limber, outside of the lower leg, perched on top of the left, and then gently hinge forward and just gently coax the outside of that right knee toward the ground. Stretch your tailbone back. Take a deep belly breath. Feel it expand toward your lap. And just with the part of your spine that's above the collarbone, as you exhale, let the chin bow down and lengthen the back of the neck with the weight of your head. Gently rolling slightly to the left, gently, slowly rolling slightly to the right. Oh, that felt good to me. Remember, these are suggestions. Let's try that hip stretching series on the left. If it doesn't work for you, by all means, substitute the stretch that you enjoy, that you feel works for you. Pull your navel in as you gently guide the knee closer to the chest. Good stretch on the back of the hip here, and gently, big range of motion, restorative circles through your ankle. And then the other direction. Inhale, sit tall, and come to your figure 4 stretch. You might be more limber on one side than the other. That's quite normal. So you can cross at the ankles and coax gently the outside of the left knee toward the ground. Or if you're more flexible, you can stack. We don't want the foot to be forced into this position. We want the ankle firmly supported. And then whether you're crossed at the ankle or ankle on the lap, you're going to hinge slightly forward and gently stretching the external rotator cuff and some of the deep hip muscles like the piriformis. If you're curious, I hope you're curious. Take a deep belly breath. Give it some time. Exhale, and if you like, you can just let the chin draw closer to the throat, keeping the heart above, or keeping the head above the heart. And see how it feels to gently roll your head, giving your neck a little massage, slow and steady, left and then right. That felt good. Okay, well, we're going to end a teensy bit early today because we've been doing a lot of home improvement projects because I have time and I have the ability, and my husband has a lot of expertise in it. The only problem is it's not fun for him to come home from doing kind of remodeling and then have his partner say, hey, I got an idea, let's do some remodeling. Anyway, just want you to know, we're going to continue to offer these classes as best we can for the duration. The duration, as you know, is undetermined, and it will be different for different folks. But whatever your needs are, I want you to safely consider the benefits and the risks of the things that you're doing, and not just your own safety, but so important right now, what we do now and from now until, well, basically the end of winter, it's going to determine how many more people may not have access to the hospital, how many more COVID deaths there are. We've got to work together. And as I said at the beginning, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but please hang in there and talk to folks, please. It'll make a big difference. Wear your mask, stay safely socially distanced, drink lots of water, eat well, sleep well, exercise, keep on moving, and wash your hands. Until next time, keep it safe and simple. Bye.